back to Giant Monster Games. My name is Adrian, and today we're playing Affinity. We're playing the budget Affinity deck. It is, what do I think is opening hand? That's maybe the best. That's where we should start. What do we think of this opening hand? We have some good stuff. I mean, cranial plating is obviously really good in an opening hand. Thoughtcast, this is pretty good keepable. This is pretty good keepable. I mean, obviously we don't have our early game like drop all the 0-drop artifacts or 0-cost artifacts, but it is keepable. Galvanic Blast, obviously, I wouldn't really want as an opening hand kind of card, but we're gonna be okay with it. I think it's keepable, and I think we're on the draw as well. Yeah, we totally are. We're totally on the draw. So yeah, this is what we're keeping. Darksteel Citadel is an artifact, so we're probably gonna do like Darksteel Citadel. Actually, no, we're not doing that. I was like, we're gonna play Darksteel Citadel, and then I'm like, no, because if we play Darksteel Citadel, our opponent immediately knows we're playing Affinity. So we are going to play Mountain first, depending on what we draw. Depends what we draw, actually. I don't want to get too hasty on my decision making before I actually make decisions. Springleaf Drum. That is a thing. Well, if we're going to go this way, we are going to then play Springleaf Drum. Opponent knows we're playing Affinity. Surprise, there you go. So, I mean, this only works really effectively if we have a creature. Turn 3, we can actually have Edge Champion. If we draw into something like an Ornithopter or a Mennonite, we could actually have this turn 2. So that's good. And what did our opponent play, by the way? He played the comes into play, enters the battlefield untapped if you control a mountain or a swamp. Yes. Oh, opponent's yelling at us. They're saying, "I love the channel." Cool. I'm gonna let them know that we're actually recording right now. We are recording. Smiley face. Friday's video. Always fun playing against fans. I love it. Anyways, so what is this? What is his name? Giblin93. Hopefully, underscore. This is the end of the name. Underscore. Hopefully your deck is interesting and awesome, because I want to play against interesting, awesome decks. Wow. Even if you're playing a not an interesting or awesome deck, I just want to play against what I feel like I need a backpedal on this one here. Anyways, it's our turn. It's our turn, by the way. And I played, and I'm done. I'm done. Cool. We're done. We're done. We're done. Okay. Here we go. Going to our opponent's turn. Again, this is actually a really good land. It's not actually as cheap as I want it to be, though. I want them to reprint this one because this is actually like a really good budget land card. Because it comes into play tapped unless you control a swamp or mountain. It's the same as like Dragon Skull Summit. So I really want them to reprint this because, again, it's not vastly used in a lot of decks, but it is a really good card for budget decks. It's not used in a lot of competitive decks, but it'd be really good in budget decks. So I want them to reprint it for budget reasons. That seems really crazy to me. That my mind immediately goes to, I want this card reprinted because it would be a good budget staple, rather than it just being a good modern staple. Our opponent's going to duress us, which means I think we're probably going to lose Thoughtcast. No, he takes Galvanic Blast. Actually, he should have got rid of Cranial Plating. This is the most dangerous card in the hand right now. Because if he doesn't kill us by like turn 3, turn 4, this thing's going to be down, and we're going to be swinging for scary damage. Going to our turn. Oh, Island. Boo, Island. Well, if we play this gets reduced by a little bit. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go like this. We're going to go Cranial Plating, or Darksteel Citadel, and then Cranial Plating. Running them down like that. Next turn, we could theoretically play Thoughtcast. We'll actually probably play Etched Champion. Depends what we draw. If we draw into one of our 0-drop creatures, then we're going to play that. And then we'll play stuff around that as well. So it'll depend. It'll depend what we do. Etched Champion at this point is, well, if we play Etched Champion, he now has protection from colors. So our opponent can't easily get rid of him, which is fun and exciting. And our opponent is going to, what's this, Golgari Rot Farm. Which is, oh, yes, return a land. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. And Scrounging Bander. Is our opponent playing a Hydras token deck? It's possible. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to assume that our opponent at this point has Winding Constrictor in the deck and Hardened Scales. This is my assumption. So it may not be like the Hydra deck, but it'd probably be something similar. Now, we could actually, we have a couple options here. I think the option is going to look like this, though. We're going to play the Mountain. We are going to play Etched Champion. Then we are going to probably... what? We have two options. The first option is we can actually play Galvanic Blast and blow up this thing. That's fun. The other option is we can actually play this and draw 2 cards. Also fun. The thing is, we can also just chump block for days here. So I think we're just going to play Thoughtcast for a whopping 1. So this makes blue mana by tapping down this guy, which is fine. I mean, we can take 2 damage right away. Totally fine. See, that's nice. Playing Thoughtcast for 1. Oh, there's Meta Knight. Sweet. Cast you. You might as well come into play. And then ship it to our opponent's turn. There we go. Have too many lands now. Too many lands. Not the best thing here. And then next turn we can throw Cranial Plating onto the Etched Champion. And then what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just giving him +5, +5, or +5, +0. So he's putting a counter on... Oh no! Oh no, I think I just realized exactly what our opponent's deck is. It's like a similar... I'm guessing it's similar to the negative counters deck. Because he was targeting... Oh, he has to target, but then some May ability. Oh, okay. For a second there, I was like, oh my god, our opponent just put a counter on this guy. He's going to blow it up and then gain control of a creature with a +1 counter on it or something. I guess that's not what it is going to be. I got scared there for a second. Freaked the heck out of myself. And he plays a land and passes. Scary times for our opponent. Servant of the Scales. Well, there's the other token generator. We're going to see. Again, as soon as he gets a Hardened Scales or a Winding Constrictor, whenever he starts pushing counters off of this guy, they double. So it's going to be super fun for him. Now, we have a bunch of options. The first option is... Galvanic Blast this thing away. Actually, I think what we're going to do, we're going to go like this. We're going to go Cranial Plating, equip for 1, onto this guy. May as well just use our colorless mana, seeing as how it doesn't matter too much to us. We're going to play this guy for 1. And, oh, we have to pay life. We don't have black mana. We actually might as well. I mean, no reason not to. So we'll create black mana by tapping out this guy. So we don't have to pay 2 life. Not that it really matters to us, but we can do it, and we're going to get this guy anyways. And then I think what we do is we Galvanic Blast Scrounging Bander. Or do we? Nah, I don't think so. I think we just swing in for with an 8-2. I think that's all it's going to be. Swing in with an 8-2. Attack with all creatures, which is only 1. And he's unblockable, because he has protection from whatchamacallits. Everything. Color stuff. So our opponent at this point needs to have either artifacts to block this guy, or he needs a colorless spell. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them. Most of them are like they have devoid, so they technically don't have a color. But yeah, I don't think our opponent sees it. Our opponent's tapping stuff down. Don't think he realizes it has protection from all colors. But he still kills the Vault Scourge. Speaking of Vault Scourge, by the way, I mispronounced this name like so hard in the deck. I was like Valakut Scourge or Valet Scourge, and I'm like, yeah. And then after the fact, I'm like, oh wait, that says Vault, not Valet. Yes, let's see if he wants to do it. I have a hunch. Oh, he doesn't. He decides not to. Curious. Very, very curious. We'll probably actually blow up Winding Constrictor, actually. That's probably the way it's going to go. It's the way it's going to go. There's Winding Constrictor. And I'm assuming he's going to swing in. Will he swing in? No. Alright, well, end step. Galvanic Blast, the Winding Constrictor, into oblivion. Goodbye. Thanks for coming out. Goodbye. We don't want to deal with you, because you're going to make these things a lot more scary. And I think we just dump our hand at this point. We play Chief of the Foundry, give our stuff a little bit of a bonus here, and then swing in for a bunch of damage. Okie dokie. And do we swing with the Meta Knight as well? I mean, if he blocks, he loses stuff. Yeah, might as well. Give him the clock. Give him the hard clock. What do you think? What do you think, opponent? So yeah, so this is Affinity. This is what Affinity is designed to do. We just dump our hand onto the table, swing for faces, deal with us. We're crazy like that. I mean, this isn't a terrible trade for him. The only thing is it puts all the counters on this guy, which means he's not going to be able to... He has 1 creature now rather than 2, which having 1 creature is not always as good as having 2, obviously. And yes, that is our turn. Affinity. Affinity is actually relatively fun to play. It is... Because Affinity is kind of a weird one. Because Affinity kind of plays halfway between, like, the Infect Boggles decks out there, and halfway between, like, just a full-on, like, aggro similar to Goblins. Because Goblins is literally put stuff on board, swing for faces, where Affinity is like just everything just synergizes together perfectly and just does crazy, I have to attack really fast. But there's also usually, oh, Fatal Push. I don't think that really helps him a lot. Again, he needs to Fatal Push this guy, but he can't because it has protection from creatures. So unless he, oh, go to sideboard. We scoop it up. Scooping it up. Okay, what do we think? We're playing against, what do we think? We could put in the Ancient Grudge. It gets rid of artifacts. Not lands. Mana Leak doesn't really help us out either. I'm thinking Whip Flare might be good. The other thing is, if we put in Mana Leak, we can potentially stop him from blowing up our stuff. That's another potential option. This deals with small creatures, but his deck shouldn't be just small creatures. It should be a lot of creatures getting really big. I think what we do is we put in the Mana Leaks. We take out what? Do we take out Shrapnel Blasts? Yeah, I think we're gonna take out the Shrapnel Blast. He's playing green, so he's a really easy for him to destroy artifacts, so they're kind of worth taking out. And I think we take out just a single Springleaf Drum. It's probably the weakest of the artifacts in our package, largely because we don't have, well, just in general, it's the weakest card in our package. It's one of the cards that if you were upgrading this deck, Springleaf Drum is a good contestant to be removed from your deck. It's a card you can upgrade quite easily. And our opponent is going to go first, I'm assuming. And, ooh, that's a lot of land. And not a lot of much of anything else. This is actually a really bad opening hand. So we're going to mulligan away. We're going to see if we can get something better. Double Cranial Plating, a single land is pretty freaking rough. Really rough. I will keep it, but it's pretty freaking rough. And you can go on top. There we go. Now we're in the good. We're in the good zone. Should be fine. The thing is, we can always use Galvanic Blast to blow up his early game stuff, so I'm actually, like, it's okay to not have a ton of land in, like, your opening on this, so. And I think we just run down the mountain and ship it to our opponent's turn. See what he has to say. What does he have to play? What do you think? Hopefully you have a better, faster hand this turn. And at this point, if he has hand disruption, Etched Champion needs to go, like, right away. Okay, so there's a Winding Constrictor, which dodges this thing right now. As soon as we have 3 artifacts, though, it doesn't dodge it, so we need to give it a turn or two before we can blow up the Winding Constrictor, which is going to be okay. Chief of the Foundry, also good, also very good. And I think we just run down the Cranial Plating and then ship it to our opponent's turn. Because we need to wait for Galvanic Blast. That's kind of our current focus, is getting Galvanic Blast to Metalcraft so we can actually destroy more stuff. That's the sound. So he's literally playing like an upgraded version of the Hydras deck. So, which is good, which is really good. I absolutely love the Hydras deck. So I can't complain too much. It is one of my babies, my very happy babies. So yes, go to our turn, see what we get. And our draw is another Chief of the Foundry. This is a hard decision for us. We can't play Thoughtcast. We can and need to play Galvanic Blast, though. Oh, no! That's a misplay, guys. It's a misplay on my part. This guy's going to get a counter from when we play a spell, which I was like, oh, he's going to get a counter, so it'll be a 2-2, which means we still kill it. Not true. Winding Constrictor makes it at 2 counters. Double counters, if you will. So that is a hard misplay on my part. That was actually a really bad one. That was a really, really bad one, actually. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I should have actually just dropped the Cranial Plating, technically, and then next turn we have Galvanic Blast on 4, which actually doesn't help us either with Mana Gorger. Mana Gorger Hydra is going to be the hard one right now. The really hard one. There's Mistcutter. Mistcutter coming down. Protection from blue. I mean, if we can get the Etched Champion down, if we draw land, we can play Etched Champion and actually just start blocking for days. But at this point, we don't have that. Our opponent has drawn the best of the best hands. Galvanic Blast again. Darn it. We needed a land. We didn't draw it. We're going to play this, and actually I think that's lethal for our opponent. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, that is lethal. We'll let him swing in and actually get the kill, because that's a nice thing to do. Every so often when you're playing against people, let them get the kill. Don't just concede all the time. Sometimes it's okay to concede, but not all the time. And there we go. Your opponent gets a swing in, do some damage to us. Goodbye, us. And we're going to go to sideboard. It's a thing. It's a thing that happens. I think what we need to consider doing is not taking out the shrapnel blasts. I think they actually should stay in. Whip Flare doesn't do us any good. Crumble the Dust doesn't do us any good. I think we take out a Mana Leak and another Springleaf Drum. Yeah, I think that's the way it's gonna be. So double Mana Leaks just to be safe. Obviously, Mana Leaking Mana Gorger Hydra would be really fun. It didn't happen, but it would have been fun. So here we go. And we're gonna play first, of course. This is a much better opening hand. Actually, this is a very, very good opening hand. So we're gonna keep that. Keeping it. See what our opponent thinks. Does he decide he wants to keep? Or is he going to go down? The Hydras deck usually has pretty good opening hands. So especially when you have a few upgrades. Fatal Push being a fantastic upgrade. And what do I want to run down? Do I need to run down the Darksteel Citadel yet? Probably not. We can run down a Shivan Reef. And then Signal Pest. Followed up by an Ornithopter. So then the next turn if we decide we want to attack, we can actually swing in for some damage. Which would be fun. Very fun. That's, I guess, the one thing about Springleaf Drum, actually. If you are... Maybe I should not have taken out Springleaf Drum. Thinking back. Because Springleaf Drum actually gives you mana acceleration, which is actually a very good thing. It's a very good thing to have in the deck. It's a very good thing to be using. Because you get to do stuff one turn sooner. And Cranial Plating is going to go away. The saddest day of our lives. Goodbye, Cranial Plating. You are amazing. You will be missed. You'll be missed all the way over here in our graveyard. Going to our turn, we get another island. Well, let's play the island, because we don't really need the extra artifact yet. And then go to sideboard, or go to sideboard, go to attacks. And we're going to attack with everything, which is us doing a whopping 1 damage. Neat how that plays out. And then ship it to our opponent's turn. See what he got. Does he got some Hydras? Maybe. We're going to play Chief of the Foundry next turn as well, which is going to help us out by making things a lot bigger, which is going to be very good. Making everything +1/+1. Chief of the Foundry. He's a good like budget affinity lord. Budget artifact lord. Artifact creature lord. And what does he play? Feral Hydra. Okay, well that's fine. Feral Hydra is a decent turn 2 play. I mean, if you have nothing else, he's worth playing because you can drop a land on turn 3 and then start buffing him up. There's the Springleaf Drum we're talking about. So, if I play I can play Chief of the Foundry this turn if I play Springleaf Drum first. Which, next turn we don't really need to play anything, so we might as well actually play Chief of the Foundry straight up, and then we'll play Springleaf Drum like next turn. Yeah, so he doesn't know what we have in hand at this time, so we can't actually play this yet. And then we're going to go to combat and attack with everything. Attack with all creatures. There you go. Opponent can't block because he doesn't have reach or flying. So getting in for 3 damage. 3 damage is a little bit of damage, but it is a good amount of damage nonetheless. And let's see what our opponent plays. This is where Hydra starts getting crazy. Turn 3 is where Hydras start being like, and surprise, I'm getting into my mid-range shell, which is what Hydras do best. Is they Hydra best. That's what their game plan is to Hydra. I wonder, I haven't seen Metallic Mimic yet. Oh, Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter would be annoying if he Ghost Quartered this a little bit. There's Servant of the Scales. Huh. The annoying thing about Servant of the Scales is if I swing in and he blocks with it, he gets to just put the counters on something else. Which in that deck is not fun. It's scary. It's terrible and scary. There's a Cranial Plating. That's actually really exciting. So exciting, in fact, that I think I'm going to play it right now. Yes. So that's Cranial Plating right now. Here we go. Cranial Plating coming down. And then we're going to throw it on the Ornithopter, I think. Yeah, I think so. So throw it on Signal Pest. Signal Pest is a little bit harder to block, technically. And then we're probably going to play Springleaf Drum and then just swing with everything. So play Springleaf Drum. We could also leave this guy up, because reasons. Yeah, I think we're just swinging with everything. Go for it all. As Ted would say, risk it for the biscuit. Go for it. There you go. So these guys are both going to get +1/+1, or +1/+0. So that's a bunch of damage coming to our opponent's face live at GiantMonsterGames.com. That's not actually a place. Don't go to GiantMonsterGames.com. I'm sure it is a non-existent website. One day, one day it might be a real website for real boys. And he's going to Fatal Push. There you go. Fatal Pushing the Signal Pest, which is annoying. We could have seen it coming, but it is what happens. So, yeah. I mean, I was expecting Fatal Push to be coming out at some point, so it's not like it's that surprising. But it is a thing that happens. It's annoying. It's annoying. Fatal Push. Fatal Push is a really good card. I feel like I should have picked up my playset when the card first came out, because I think it's like, what is it, like $14 now or something crazy for an uncommon that was printed, like, it is still in print. Super crazy. Super crazy if you ask me. Evolving Wilds, don't play Evolving Wilds. Evolving Wilds is never a card you want to play. If you're going to upgrade the deck, take out Evolving Wilds. Come on, you have Overgrown Tomb. You have Overgrown Tomb, don't play Evolving Wilds. Oh, he's going to Fatal Push the guy. Ah. Now I'm really sad. This is my sad face. This is Hydras doing disruption to my face. Well, you live and learn, right? Swings in with the Feral Hydra. Feral Hydra is a scary creature. I mean, we can throw Cranial Plating on the Ornithopter. I mean, I'm sure he does not have a third Fatal Push in hand. That would be highly unlikely. Possible, but unlikely. Hey, Vault Scourge. I will happily play Vault Scourge. And I will pay life for it even. That's how happy I am to play it. So, play Vault Scourge. We are going to equip this guy to the Ornithopter for a whopping 1 mana. I know, such a high roller here. And then we are going to swing for 5 in the air, meaning our clock is technically faster than his clock. If he has, again, more disruption, could be Fatal Pushes, it could be Naturalize, technically, then he's going to be the one getting value right now. So, does he have anything? It looks like the answer is no, so that's going to be 5 damage. Our clock is faster, just saying. Especially because we have a lifelink creature, so we're actually going to move Cranial Plating onto this guy next turn, and then, you know, swing in for lifelinking, which is awesome. Is the plan. That's the nice thing about this guy, is because Affinity doesn't want to ever get to mid-range, like, we're mid-range now, turn 5, and I have no cards in hand, you don't ever want to get here. So, you want to use Vault Scourge as a way of, like, stabilizing, like, okay, let me just gain a little bit of life here, don't mind me, I'm getting some extra life, is what Vault Scourge is doing. And that's a big something or other coming down. Is it a big Mana Gorger Hydra? Not a mana, it wouldn't be Mana Gorger Hydra, it would be something else. It is a large Mist Cutter Hydra. Ouch. So his clock is now faster. He has protection from blue, mind you, doesn't really affect us. We have 2 blue cards in the deck technically. Right now we have Mana Leak and we have Thought Cast, I believe it's called. Yes, Thought Cast. It's right here. So yeah. Okay, swinging in for 6. Which is scary, but again, we're going to equip the Cranial Plating onto the Vault Scourge, and then we're going to gain life. So I'm not really that scared. Not really that concerned. And Chief of the Foundry. Ooh la la. Thank you very much. I guess we can go like this. Play Chief of the Foundry. Use this extra mana just to throw Cranial Plating onto this. Oh, wow, GG. He has called it. Okay, hold on. We're going to actually go for it. We're going to go for it. Our opponent has said they know they've lost the game. Oh, no! That's a pretty solid misplay here. Luckily, though, we have this guy, so we can pay for it. I love when I misclick. I really like it. Tap an untapped creature, this guy. Okay, here we go. And now we can go for combat. Oh, man. What's happening to me? Attack with all creatures. There we go. Thank you, opponent. Thank you, Giblin93 _ for playing with the Hydras deck. Again, Hydras deck is one of the decks that I put up on the channel. This is an upgraded version, which is awesome to see. I love when you guys start brewing other things. Thank you for the game. Thank you guys for watching. This has been GiantMonsterGames playing Affinity versus Hydras. Until next time, my name is Adrian. This is GiantMonsterGames. Don't forget to game like a giant monster. Thanks for watching the videos here on Giant Monster Games. If you want to support the channel directly, Thanks for watching the videos here on Giant Monster Games. If you want to support the channel directly, we now have a Patreon page which you can go and become part of the broader Giant Monster Games community. Additionally, if you want to